All right. Darlings, welcome back to the new season 2 of Thegenshift. Like, we made it, right? Did we? What happened in season 1? Well, you should know, because some of you have been on here, right? And if you have not actually watched any of the episodes, you're getting blocked, right? I'm not joking. Anyway, welcome to Thegenshift. This is season 2, where we go in, we explore, we literally explode with new creative ideas, some interesting topics that need to be had. Now, there's a bit of a twist with this season. I was supposed to have a co-host, and I made it clear on TikTok, Emmanuel. And do you know, he sat on the desk again. He was supposed to be sat next to me. You know, right-hand man. Whatever. Anyway, he's back on the desk. So he's been relegated. Yeah, let's keep it real. Right, well, it's good to see you all. I'm glad to be back. I have got some phenomenal guests for the show. Now, because it is a new season, we thought, okay, let's open up and let's make this a very explosive one. Tonight's topic is all about last Thursday. And before I introduce the guests, or the guests will be introducing themselves actually, I just want to give a big shout out to PS Studios here in Dubai. This is where the Thegenshift is being hosted. I also want to give a super duper big shout out to Creative Entertainment, who hosted last week's Turn Up, the artist meetup. And it was literally an outstanding show. Like, it was just full of phenomenal guests. And most importantly, I also want to give a big shout out to the group Musicians in the UAE. Woo! They are on fire. So if you are not connected, you need to be connected. They are a WhatsApp group and they have some serious events happening. Like, you could not make it up. Anyway, without further ado, let's get this show on the... Okay. We're good? Right. Okay, so we're back. This time we're back for back. Real back. Whatever. Anyway, right. So I want to introduce some phenomenal people in the room today on this Thegenshift show, season 2. We have first up Riri, who is a makeup artist and a vlogger and just an all-round amazing influencer. You must go and check her out on Insta and TikTok. She's just vibing all day, like literally. We also have Addy, who is a member of the Lunic band. Phenomenal musician, like phenomenal. I mean, if you don't follow him after this show, you're getting blocked, right? So it is what it is. And without further ado, I gotta bring my sister back. Woo. Miss Felicia from Ohio, Ohio.
Hey.
Did I get it right?
Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can spell. I hope. No, I'm messing up. But FDZ Graffiti, you guys, if you haven't locked in already, you need to lock in, because her work is phenomenal and she's got something to share with us today as well. So welcome to the Thegenshift.
Whoa.
Thank you for having
All right.
us. Thanks for having us.
We're vibing.
Right, so let's just take the floor. First up, we wanted to kind of share our experiences about something that happened last week. It was phenomenal. So guys, if you don't know, last week we pretty much all attended, apart from don't. We attended the artist turn up event that was hosted by Creative Entertainment. And what an event it was. And tonight we're going to go in and review it and talk about the take-ups and who was hot and who was not on the night. But I don't think there wasn't anybody who wasn't hot. Well, pretty much everybody was, right? And it was hot.
It was hot.
It was hot.
It was hot. AC could have done better that night. No, it was really
No, please. So let's start with yourself, Riri. Tell us a bit about who you are. Well, I know I've introduced you, but take us through your journey.
Okay. Hi, guys. Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. It's my first podcast, so I'm pretty excited. Okay, so I'm Riri. I am a artist and a singer. I'm fall into the R&B genre and stuff. So I love singing a lot of old school stuff, bringing back that flavor to these days that people don't have sometimes. And it's like, okay. I'm a makeup artist as well, professional makeup artist. So I like blending music and makeup together, which is what I love because I always wear always neutral clothes. And this is the main focus with my microphone and everything. I love it. And I also do social media. So I'm just a mix of everything.
I love
creativity flowing.
I love that. I love how you express the extension of your makeup onto the phone. So that music actually merges with the art on your face.
Exactly.
I'm loving that. What actually brought you? Are you originally from Dubai, or can you tell us a little?
Yes.
Right.
So I'm half Emirati, Lebanese. I have a very nice mix, but obviously I relate more to my Lebanese side because we're very loud and fun. So it's a fun vibe. Yeah, I grew up here. The music scene wasn't that great when we were as kids, to be honest. It wasn't that exposed as it is now, which obviously, as I can see, everybody's been emerging a lot, which is great. But for me, I just started. I come from a musical family, actually.
Oh.
My mom sings. She used to sing. My sister is a semi-retired DJ. She's vibing. She's a DJ. And my father was in a band, in an Arabic band. So we just come up from musical family. We just have fun. We love music. And I grew up always around music, whether it's just playing around the house, singing, vibing, going to karaoke. So it was just, I had a karaoke machine when I was a kid. So I was always singing around the house.
Girl.
And my mom was like, yeah, this girl is going to grow up one day and she's going to do her thing and make me proud, which is what I'm doing.
And that you certainly are, because I've obviously checked out your page. Of course. I mean, since last Thursday, meeting up with you, I have to say that the energy you give off it's just I couldn't breathe.
I was a psycho last time, just jumping and cheering.
I know you were just filled with love. And what's great about it as well is that you were there, and not only were you there supporting it, you were there really advocating for every single artist that came on that stage. You really gave them that energy that they so deserved, because their performances were phenomenal.
They were amazing.
And the crowd, guys, I'd never seen anything like it. I've never been in a space, it's quite compact, but everybody was literally lifting the floor.
Everyone
it
came
was
together.
So good, right?
It was so fun.
My next kind of question to you. So you are Gen Z, right?
Yes. As much as I hate admitting it, I am, but I feel like I relate so much towards the millennial side, thanks to my sister and our friends, because I'm the only Gen Z in the group of our friends. So growing up with them makes me fit a lot in their stuff. So when people tell me you're Gen Z, I'm like, 25%, 50%, 50-50. Okay. But yeah, I am.
Yeah, and that's
90s kid. Yeah,
you're a 90s kid.
Yeah,
so that's amazing, because being a 90s kid, we kind of grew up in the 90s. So we definitely can relate. But being a kid in the 90s is also very special.
It's fun.
It was a lot of fun going on in that time. Yeah. Okay, so the makeup part, I definitely want to be having more conversations about that. But my next question is for that event, for you, what really stood out in that event last Thursday, the artist stand-up?
It was incredible. So you're gonna think I'm crazy, but when I was sitting because me and Addie were sitting at the table, I'm like, "That's Julie. I really want to meet her." Because like I've never met you before, and I know who you are, and I'm like, should I go say hi? Should I not? But honestly, what I really liked about the event is when you guys did the panel, because in this community, artists have a lot of questions. It is never-ending questions because everybody's starting out. People are coming on, starting to do more music, singing. So people have questions from experts like you guys and professionals who have been doing this for years. So that really stood out to me because everyone was there confused. And I really liked the fact that we all had name tags. So you can just walk up to a person. It felt like a party as well because you get to walk up to a person, make conversation, get to know each other. And it was really special. I feel like you have people who are even introverts were actually starting to branch out and talk to each other. That was really nice, honestly, because artists sometimes just have many questions and they go talk to each other, meet people, which is what I love.
Amazing.
It was
And I
incredible.
totally agree with you. I love the kind of name badge we all had. It felt like a bit like a mixer. You know, you were
Yeah.
kind of circulating the room, but you didn't feel completely out of place. And everybody kind of really gave themselves like their true, authentic self. It wasn't like, okay, I'm going to walk in the room. I'm an artist, darling. Just step to the side. You know, it was like a free for all.
Yeah.
Let's just act out of pocket if we need to and just tell it like it is and bring the joy in that, and certainly did. So we'll move to you, Mr. Addy.
Hello.
Hello.
So my name is Addy Thomas. I am the lead singer and frontman of the band Lunic. We're a hard rock band. Grew up loving rock and roll. But aside from that, not a lot of people in the music community know this. I'm also a professional stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
So you're going to tell some jokes?
We'll squeeze it in throughout the
See if you
podcast
warm
for
up to
sure.
it.
Yeah, definitely,
Right?
definitely.
If it ain't good, you're getting blocked.
Oh, dear
Sorry,
God.
I'm just
The
using that
pressure
block
keeps
button.
getting to me. No.
I'm only kidding.
That's all good. I have been doing that a lot, actually. So my entire background, I come from like Riri. I come from a very musical family.
Right.
My dad's a singer, and he plays the tabla. And my sister, classically trained singer and classically trained dancer. So it was always music in the house, and I was the only one that, like, there was no spotlights on me growing up, which was great. I loved it because I picked up everything on my own and I went off with it. So I did a little dancing, I did a little music, and for the longest time in high school, I did theater. I was a huge theater nut, a huge musical theater
I
nut.
didn't even know.
Oh my
And
goodness.
yeah. I believed I was gonna make it as an actor.
Right.
And then I met comedians in college, and I was like, oh no, comedy's fun. Like
Comedy
that's
is
what I'm,
fun. And it
that's
is
what
where
I'm
it's
gonna
at. I gotta say, you know, Robin Williams was obviously back in the day one of my favorite comedians.
do. My inspiration.
Yeah.
My everything.
Oh wow. Oh
I
wow.
look
Oh
up
wow.
to him. If you ever see me do stand-up, it's a compliment I frequently get, is that I got a
You're
little bit
giving
of
Robin Williams energy
Yeah.
right now. I can kind of feel. Do you know what I mean? He's
love
giving that energy.
That's exactly what I was
This
talking
is why I
about.
hang
No.
out with
He
Addie a
is.
lot.
So yeah, okay. So obviously, yes, you're a Gen Zer.
Yes.
And obviously, what was your takeout for the event? What was it that kind of stood out for you?
What I love most about it was the characters that were in the room. Because everyone's an artist, but everyone's a different kind of artist. You know what I mean? And like you touched on it a little bit about the personalities that were in there. And whilst there were a lot of people that were ready to mingle, they were ready to share their stories, there were also a few people that were like, I'm a diva, you know? And I'm glowing on this chair right now. Everybody's going to see me glow on this chair right now. Although that never happened to them. I'm sure there was artists all over the room. No one's paying attention to you. Like no one is, but they're still doing their thing. And I respect that.
Yeah.
Of course, because it's part of the show, right?
Mhm.
It is part of the show. Obviously, there were so many bands, and I felt really. Do you know what? I'm not gonna lie, guys. I felt really bad. I wasn't watching all the bands because there was so much work in the room. It was like work. And what really kind of stood out stood out for me was the fact that I actually started engaging with people. There was a community and of conversation.
Yeah.
And that's what's been missing for so long.
And it's vibrant.
It's
Everyone's
just
got a different
right,
take. Yeah.
right, exactly. So, okay, so what brought you to Dubai? Are you also?
I was born and raised in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, Abu
Yes.
Dhabi.
Yes, I was born and raised in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
I love it there. But I moved to Dubai for university and then I work here now.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. And it's absolutely wonderful just to kind of see you guys and, being able to give some real feedback because just to give before we get to my sister, I just want to give a shout out to Christina, who is the founder of Creative Entertainment, a lady who's phenomenal when pulling people together and putting things on so that artists can, use their skills fundamentally to bring new life into a vibrant city. And she does that with the idea of looking into original
Mhm.
artists, which is the reason why we have the Gen Shift, because, they ain't not short about, we got to keep it original. 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 Okay, we are original. Original things running out this house. You understand? I know I'm going to come with the Jamaicanisms at some point. But Christina, this one's for you. And I want to give a big shout out to you to thank you for putting on the artist meetup. It was phenomenal. Thank you. Okay, so one of our guests who's here, is Felicia.
Ooh.
Do you want to kind of tell us why you didn't make it at the artist meetup?
Well,
Come on.
I put it on my calendar
Oh,
as a Friday event. And I will say this. I did pre-work and post-work before and after the event. So I did meet and follow a lot of the artists leading up to the event. It's one of the things that I do to be able to kind of like engage the audience. Like I think I may have followed both of you guys on social media.
I think so.
Yeah, and it may
okay.
have
Yeah.
been recent. Like I did a push in the last couple days. But before I get into that, let me introduce myself.
Of
For those people
course.
who don't know who I am, my name's Felicia Dunson, but I go by FDZ Graffiti. I'm a graffiti artist, fashion designer. I also dabble in some other realms. I think we're covering everything here.
Of course.
I've done a little dancing, I've done a little acting, I've done a little singing, but my primary creative source and gift is in visual arts, which I brought my little buddy here today
Yeah.
that I'm going to share with you guys. Yeah. Mhm.
Awesome. And if you could just give some details about why you've chosen Dubai as your place of residence.
So I feel like right now Dubai's like the middle of the world. It's, there's you have the Burj Khalifa, which is like the tallest building in the world. That always seems to be like a staple in time, in civilization, in the development of civilization. It seems like wherever the tallest building is, that's also like the most modern city. You think of like the Empire State Building in New York City, and I'm not even gonna act like I know what the other buildings are, but you guys get the point that
Yeah,
I'm
we
getting
get
at,
we
right?
get it. We get it.
So, but the draw here to Dubai is, I love how contemporary and modern it is, and then there has been so much more that I've discovered even since the last time that we met
Right.
and we talked. When I started really getting to experience Dubai, and the things that were surprising me is just like reassuring my decision to establish myself here. And I just feel like being here, you're in touch with the whole world, just the people, like the diversity of people that are here. It's a little bit of everybody from everywhere, and then the accessibility, because this is one of the stops on my world tour as I'm going to places, but I feel that I'm still going to return back here to Dubai because I love the infrastructure. I love the safety,
Yes.
and then I love the fact that as progressive a place as it is, it's still developing, just like Riri was saying earlier. Like there's a lot of new culture and artistry here. So I feel like this is really like a perfect place for me to be new and old at the same time, which I think also fits into the whole millennial Gen Z experience.
Of course, which
Yeah.
is where we kind of bring it together. As you know, the Gen Shift is fundamentally about the three generations. Now, I'm not excluding any other generations because in this show, we're going to go a little bit further back to the boomers. I'm going to be introducing some boomers. And I'm also going to be bringing in some alphas. Yeah. So we are fixed on at the moment on Gen X, which is myself, Miss Felicia. Millennials and Gen Zs. And the Gen Zs are always pulling up. They're always coming in and they're coming in live. Now, I want to basically just take a little break to just ask you if there are any Gen Zers out there who are struggling with communication. The Vocal Pod is part of the Vocal Podcast, is opening up a program which talks about you deserve to be heard. So if you are someone who's lacking a little bit of self-confidence, a little bit of awareness, and would like to kind of meet like-minded people in a very safe setting, then please reach out to me on www.TheVocalPod.org and just put in the subject, you deserve to be heard. All right. And I will reintroduce that at the end of the show. Okay. Right. We're coming back, darlings. Whew. As I mentioned before, so now that we're in the flow and get an idea about your artistry, for me, if there was any other art form that you have not explored yet, what would it be and why? Okay.
Mm.
So I will put that question. Look at Auntie, like that.
I've got one.
Oh,
Yes,
I've got
Miss
one.
Felicia.
Okay.
Okay.
I really want to get into cake decoration.
I love that.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I feel like it would really translate with where I could tie some of my other artistry into it, and it's like this beautiful combination of, like fashion and food and, I think that I that's like one of my secret things. Sometimes I'll
Mm.
just put on like the baking shows while I'm working on my art, and
Yeah.
I just really tap into it, but it's also something that I'm not naturally good at, so I'd actually have to work at it. Like, other than, like, following a recipe,
Of
I'm a
course.
good cook, but I can't bake.
That's
So
interesting.
that's
That's
yeah.
so cool.
Yeah. No, but that's really cool. Because I would have never thought of that just until you said it. Like, I love cake. I really do love
Me
cake.
too.
Yeah.
I know,
Me
right?
too.
And I feel really bad because I did promise that I
It's
was going to
okay.
bring cake to the
That's
show.
fine. We'll bring next time.
I know.
The shock is like,
could've
I
changed
want a
everything.
cake.
That's okay.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
get
just
some
that I had
after.
a bit of an emergency. A friend of mine's come over from the UK and had to divert, go and check her out at the hotel and all that jazz. But next time, you're coming back anyway.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna get cake next time.
Life is life.
No, but you're right. That actually, I was thinking about something else, but when you said cake decorating, that opened up something else in me because I do love to cook as well.
Yeah.
wow.
And again, I'm good at it. Like you said, you're good at it, but you don't really. There's culinary arts are insane. The way some people
For
plate
real,
and the
right?
way they cook things in like in a more like an exclusive manner. Like it's
course.
insane. Like
Yeah, it gets really
I
sophisticated.
mean, you
Yeah.
can't go wrong. Like food, music, that's a marriage in
Oh
itself.
my
filling your
god.
But
heart and your
imagine
belly. It's
Yeah.
for your
amazing.
heart and your soul and your
Yeah.
belly. And what if there was an event that was just literally about music and food?
Oh my god, that's
Like,
such
Where
a
whatever
I'm
you-
from, we have that.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
do you?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
should do that.
Can
We
we
need to
not
start doing
bring
stuff
that
there,
to
yeah.
It should happen
Christina?
here.
If you're listening to this one, this is the next event, right?
Music and food.
It's the artist
Music and
meetup.
food.
Not with food being served food, but actually cooking something from start to finish and performing at the same time.
Wow.
like a
Imagine.
wide cookout kind of a thing.
Yes.
People just roll in,
The ingredients.
live
The
music.
ingredients could be part of the
Oh my
story.
God, that's such
and
a
then you
vibe.
start
Wow.
talking and building the
And
make
then
it
there's
happen.
especially
We'll make it
Make it
happen.
if it's
happen.
cultural.
We got to work on this.
Yes.
We
Yeah,
got to
right.
plan it.
Yeah.
Exactly, because that is great, because that leads on to the next thing I wanted to talk about, which we briefly tapped into before the show, opening the show, how, you know, you both were kind of raised, or we're all raised on Western music,
Mhm.
right? And one of the things that I really wanted to allow the young people to come here to really talk about their cultural background.
Mm.
Western music has been here from dawn of time, but you guys have had access to your parents and their generations and been raised on certain ideologies behind the music. Has it always been Western, or is there other parts?
I don't think so, and especially in my household, because also I'm Arab as well, so we used to
Yeah.
listen to a lot of Arabic music. But obviously, with my mom, we used to listen to a lot of French music. Even like back in the days when we used to listen to 80s disco. And honestly, like for the past 5 years, I've been diving a lot to the Latin side.
Yeah.
I love listening to Latin music. Something about it. It's the flavor, the words, the beat. I don't know, something about it.
Yes.
So it's a difference, because sometimes if I'm listening to like mainstream music and like music we all listen to, but then I always change my playlist. I'm like, you know what? I even listen to Dutch music. I'm just so random. I love
Yes.
diving into difference because it's a nice change a little bit. So
Mhm.
yeah, in my household we used to listen to a lot of different
That's
different music, which
amazing.
is good. It makes you really like experiment also as an artist,
Yeah.
Yes.
which I
Yeah.
love so
Yes.
much.
Thank you for that, because again, it's like not everyone can tap into that, because people's ears kind of resign to fixing on one specific genre, and that's it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to even think about exploring beyond the belt of rock or the belt of hip hop.
Yeah. Mhm.
Which I think you speak as a voice for Gen Zers now, who can be quite transfixed. There's a lot of anime kind of
Yeah.
K-pop is
K-pop and
huge.
J-pop.
Oh
It's
my
massive.
God.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Oh
And
yeah.
I know my son has been kind of, he's not fixated on K-pop or J-pop, but he's trying to understand the rudiments of it,
Yeah.
you know, not just because it's K-pop.
Yeah.
Is
I
that,
love K-pop.
I mean, like you can't avoid it.
but
Yeah.
you can't,
You can't.
exactly,
You
right?
can't.
Like-
There's no way around it.
Yeah.
Then you're missing out on
It took
what's
it took the world by storm,
yeah.
and
Insane.
quickly. That's it.
Oh, I know. Me for one, you know, just give me good old gospel. I'm far away from it, but what I want to do is make sure that I'm bringing your, maybe your ideology about how these new genres are popping up, and what are they doing?
Mm.
Um,
I think everyone's getting a lot more experimental now. Because even
right.
K-pop had its own agenda of what it was supposed to be. It was meant to be purely Korean.
Yeah.
And then when it started tapping into these other markets,
Mhm.
there's a huge debate going on in Korea about how K-pop's now becoming Western.
Mm.
Right.
And a lot of people
Mhm.
are debating on whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but you can't deny the outreach. Like
Yeah.
people are dwelling into it.
Okay.
So it's like a fusion of stuff. And I think that happens a lot now. Fusions are everywhere.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we've kind of jumped into another pot of culture,
Mhm.
that now kind of is pre-shaping
Yeah.
how we're moving.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, for one, I'm open. Don't get me wrong, I'm open to listening to it, but more importantly, I'm keen to understand the perspective from Gen X, millennials, and you know.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mr. Emmanuel?
I just wanted to say, could I top in real
Yes,
quick? I
absolutely,
think the
darling.
thing that's really interesting, like you were talking about with the K-pop, is that I think what's happening in general in the world,
Yeah.
because of our access to everywhere, right? Things used to be so far away. We
Yeah.
realize that the world is actually, you can actually go to these places. You can actually find these people. But the thing that's really interesting is even though K-pop had an intention and it came in with this force, it's like as you are tapping into and going into other markets and other genres and other, you pick up some of that.
Of
It's like,
course.
so you end up being influenced by those that you're influenced into,
Yeah.
and I think like Dubai is like a great example of that. Like you talk about your families, where you're from, and the culture of your families. And I think in a way that we can like compare it to
Mhm.
food, right? If you have all of these spices and all of these flavors,
Absolutely.
you could have the intention of this being something that's like, "Oh, I want this to be an authentic Indian dish, but I want to pair that with maybe like American barbecue or something like that." It's
Of
going
course.
the
Yeah.
flavors are going to marry and
Of
kind of like
course.
bloom into this new thing where now I feel like it's becoming more and more blended
Of
as far
course.
as like
Every third
We,
yeah.
restaurant in the UAE
Yeah.
is a blend.
of
Yeah.
You can
course.
get butter
So
chicken
why is
pizza.
it that we're not
Yes.
actually cultivating this idea, which has been birthed in this setting,
Mm.
a culinary musical masterpiece?
I think also to add to her, one thing that came to mind when Coldplay came to Abu Dhabi a few months back,
Yes.
it was such a refreshing thing to see like Coldplay, and then they had an artist, she's an Arabic artist, a Chilean, Palestinian, Ileana, she's singing in Arabic, and then they had another artist, he's like an African American artist, he's singing Afro, his name is Sean. So
Ah, yes.
3 of them are on stage singing at the same thing. One is singing in a different language, one singing in English, one singing in Arabic. It
Wow.
was so refreshing.
Now
I'm like, that is
powerful.
incredible.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he
That
does
is
that.
so powerful. Yeah.
Even when he went to India, he had Ileana, had someone also from India. So like when you see this much diversity on stage, I love it because not many people do that anymore. Like
Yeah.
and
No,
yeah.
It's
because
an
we're kind of
embrace.
lacking. Everyone's kind of on this separatism. It's
Yeah.
like, I'm over there, I'm over there. Now, what is beautiful being in Dubai, it goes against that because you can't avoid knowing that your neighbor is from Lebanon or your co-worker is from Japan or India. You've got this beautiful
Yeah.
pot of culture.
Yeah.
And how can you not want to
Mhm.
get involved and dive in and understand the aesthetics behind their culture, especially from a music of, I love my food. I'm open. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Both music and food are so easily accessible
Mhm.
Of course.
that these are the two things, pun intended, people can digest really easily,
Mm.
right? And that's what makes it so easy for it to fuse as well. Because you don't see this a lot in movies. You don't see this a lot in a lot of different art forms where they can merge two things together from completely different cultural backgrounds.
Right.
You don't see it in dance as often.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, actually.
You see, you have dancers from different places doing their thing, and it might be a cipher where like one person will do their culture and then another culture.
Yeah.
But you'll never see a mix, and there's only like a few dance crews that probably mix it
Yeah.
and make it look monumental.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
I think it's because there's some things that are like very calculated. Because there's a lot
Yeah, that's
a
right.
lot of like rules to
Mm.
film. There's a lot of rules to dance because it has to be choreographed in a way, because it's
Of
like, yeah, I
course.
can move myself around like this. It's like, but that doesn't make it a dance, So I
Right.
think there's like this duality of sustaining authenticity, but also having like all of these fusions and hybrids. And so I think as people kind of like go through their experiences, preferences, and even as artists, as we go through our experiences, I might adopt some of these things, but you don't completely succumb to it. So
Cool.
I think that's some of that that's going on.
Beautiful nuances that are happening
It's
in
amazing.
Dubai.
Mm.
So, right, my next thing. What is next for you guys? Like moving into the future.
Okay. I have a lot of cool things planned. I think being in this community has really. I started singing as a kid, but then I ventured into the actual community in 2023, and I feel like with learning so many things, and now I'm ready to start doing original music. I'm doing really fun stuff, and hopefully in the future with more music coming out. I know this is gonna sound so cliche and weird, but I do want to incorporate dancing and singing at the same time because it's just fun. It's something fun. It's refreshing. It's different, and with the style that I'm hopefully planning to do, I really want to put out music that we like people can relate to the way I related to music. And I'm super excited. And I think it's time for people to see the diva in me just come out.
Yes.
Be like,
yes.
I'm a diva.
Come
We gotta get the
on.
diva come out.
Yes,
So I'm-
you are the one. You're going to be center.
Yes.
So I'm pretty
Oh.
excited. And I
So
think
exciting.
and I know that's so weird for me to say, but for me, I love being on stage. I could sing in front of a million people and I'll not get nervous. I love it.
Mm.
It's my happy place. I'm a biggest social butterfly. I just love it. So
Oh.
doing it, it's exciting. So hopefully original music is coming out. Maybe an album. I don't know. We're
Okay.
writing. We've been writing.
Absolutely. And what advice would you give to like future Gen Zers who trying to experiment with?
Honestly, especially also coming from a girl perspective, and I think maybe Addie could jump in from a guy
Okay.
perspective. Especially as women, we get so scared, but just do it. Honestly speaking, because I
Yeah.
feel like the more you come to, like, for example, open mics, performances, you do it. I mess up, I forget lyrics, I do things. Just do it because
Yeah.
you're not going to be judged. Because the more you go up on stage and you try and you test, the more confidence you're going to build up. So just go ahead and do it.
love
Yeah.
that.
Even if you have a song you haven't practiced, just do it live. Because
Yeah.
when you do things live, right, rather than doing it in your room, people will hear. Because I'm a person, and I'll be honest with you guys, I always say I sound terrible, but when people start saying it and I record myself on my phone, I listen to it, I'm like, oh my god, I did that. So we always have this thing like, oh my god, no, what people gonna think? Just do it. No one cares. People are gonna support. People are gonna listen. We love
Yeah.
fresh talent. When you love new voices and faces, just do it.
All right,
because
you heard it.
I waited a long time, and now I was like, you know what? I'm no longer gonna wait. I'm gonna keep doing it.
Oh,
Just
you heard
do
it
it.
from
Yeah.
Riri.
We just gotta keep doing it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Addy.
So the boys and I this year, and I want to shout them all out. Osh,
Of
Kian,
course. Give them a
Ethan,
shout.
Abe. I love them. They're mad talented.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm holding them down if I'm being honest. No,
What?
they're incredible. We've gotten to a point where we realize just how fun it is to write our own music.
Oh, wow.
And we love it. We've been on a frenzy of writing songs since January. And we've
Fantastic.
come up to
Ooh.
like 6 songs at the moment, and in that span of like a couple of months.
Yeah.
And we're looking to make about 10 songs and release an 8-song album by the end of the year.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
wow.
That's next for us.
Wow.
And we love the idea of the album because me personally, I grew up with a rock and roll like enthusiasm. I love it. And I love the culture behind it, where it's album, tour, album, festival. People come up, people buy merch, people rock with you. They talk to you after a show. They just enjoy the music. It's the low lighting, the intimate setting. This is what I love when it comes to music. And I want to facilitate that as fast as I can for me and the boys.
Well, it certainly will happen. And I love the fact that you've got such a brilliant vision of it happening. And yeah, I'm rooting for you. I'm not a big rock fan. I'm going to
No,
tell you the
that's
truth.
fair, that's
You know
fair,
how it
that's
is.
fair.
Too much noise in my head, man.
I get it.
Too much noise.
I
Too.
You know, we
You know what I
did
mean? It's like, come on, no.
we did a show recently. It was a punk night show, so we had to do a lot of. It was in honor of Green Day. They were performing
Oh
here
gosh, Green
early
Day.
January. So
Nice.
we did a show on behalf in like a pub here, and there were a lot of people that flew in from Germany and like these East European places, and they came to watch us play. And
Wow.
they're, I might be guessing. I'm obviously guessing, but they might have been boomers, right? Like
They
proper
would
boomers.
have probably been
They've
boomers.
definitely
Because if
boomers.
they're like 1965 upwards, they would definitely boomers.
Yeah, and they were crowd surfing in the
Oh
room.
my god.
There was an old man that hopped on stage.
Wow.
I was genuinely worried because I was singing the
The
song.
OAPs?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm not saying that you're OAPs because I'm not too far behind. But I'm telling you,
There's a
They crowd
There was a
surfing.
clip you can see where I'm singing the song and this guy gets on the stage
Oh
and we're
my
like, okay, yeah,
gosh.
rock with us. Yeah,
You
hell
have to
yeah.
show me that
Nobody's
clip.
going to need a
Yeah.
hip replacement
he
at the end of that
jumped.
show, isn't he?
Wow.
He jumped
Love it.
and it
That's
freaked me
insane.
out. But I was like, okay, yeah, he's cool. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay, he's good.
I gotta
That'd be a
see
hell of
that
a show.
clip.
I know. And I just want to, disclaimer, I'm not saying all boomers out there are, completely at the end. They're not. They're actually more energetic than a lot of the younguns, right?
Mm.
So we'll keep it. Alicia,
All right.
come
so,
on.
What's next for me? So
Yes.
I guess I'll bring up my little friend.
Yes, we've been waiting for this.
Wow.
That is insane.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a graffiti artist, right? Every element of things that I do, this is also a piece that I'm working on, it has an eco-friendly aspect to it. So this is my series Dead Cans, because they're dead.
yeah, that
right?
counts.
There's
Yeah.
you can't spray them. I pop the can, it's depressurized. It's actually the proper way that you're supposed to throw spray paint cans away. You shouldn't throw them away while it's still
Oh.
pressurized. Well, you should pop it
Right.
because now it's just a regular piece of trash, right?
Mhm.
Because it's literally like flammable explosives, it's bad for
Yes.
the environment, all of those things, right? So this is like it's an eco-friendly movement, but when it comes to contemporary art, what is really popular right now, you can't go anywhere without seeing Cause. You can't go anywhere without seeing like the bears, without seeing like that
Yeah.
toy element. Like
Yeah.
contemporary art is really about the figures. Even when I did World Art Dubai, I met a French artist where there were all of these figures everywhere that they had done. And so that's like a really popular form of art right now where people like these things that are like tangible that you can hold and handle. And I think with what I'm doing, it's a lot more time into one simple thing
Yes.
instead of something that's mass produced. And actually I'm kind of discouraging mass production, discouraging kind of like losing that authenticity where it's like I'm not against other people who are doing that, but this is where it kind of comes to that duality of
Yes.
okay, are we totally succumbing to whatever is popular and trending? How are we participating in that but still being like authentic and original and rooted?
Wow.
So these guys, right? They're going to start popping up everywhere. My intention is to just, even though as silly as they are, to really portray it and share it as fine art. I've done this in the US. Now
Yes.
I'm just ready to
Bring
do it
it.
all over the world.
I think this
Yeah.
is such a great,
So
phenomenon
sick.
because it's introducing eco-friendly tools or
Mhm.
resources,
Mhm.
making it fun.
It's
I
so-
know that
Mhm.
such things are so popular in schools and universities as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of bringing back that old school way of creating with a
Yeah.
can that has got a personality.
Yeah.
And I just think these are so phenomenal. So, guys,
See, it makes you, and it
it
taps
makes,
into like
yeah,
a
it does. It makes you want to go.
It's
I-
so cool.
yes.
I want to have like 20 of them in my room.
right.
Okay.
It's got retro cartoon
So-
style to it,
Yes.
like a Ninja Turtle.
Exactly.
It's so
It takes you somewhere.
But-
it reminds you of your childhood.
I
You
was
know
about to
what
say
I
your
can
childhood.
see? I can actually see a game, a game being made out of this.
Mhm.
Like paint the, something a little bit like painting worlds. What was it? Roblox or one of the
Blocks, Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
a new character in Minecraft, guys. If there's anybody out there,
Yeah, I do want to animate them. So NFT projects,
yeah.
that's something that that's in the works,
See?
yeah, so I definitely want to do that, but I still want to sustain the element of like recycling and things. So I
Absolutely.
think down the line in the future, I'd like it to be like a toy where people can get the pieces and get their own spray paint can and I just
Okay.
3D print them until they, there's a lot of
There's a
things.
lot.
There's a lot of things. There's
So-
a lot of products that I want to put around like the dead
Dead cans, guys.
I'm spitballing here just because I love the cartoonish aspect of it.
Yeah.
But if you can start animating it, it would make great for a concept music video.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Where like you
yes.
have these guys doing the words, the lyrics, and it's like
I
this whole
did
world.
I did start trying to do that with the social media posts where I like
Yes, you have.
I
I've seen
remixed
them.
it, and then I had the cans in there,
Yeah.
and then I just animated their mouths, and,
Yes.
it does. It actually works. Actually, we should. I want to
Yeah.
do one with you.
Right.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
love
Well,
that.
Mhm.
guys, this is the opportunity. This is all about the Gen Shift. We're merging. We're collaborating. We're not separating the generations.
Let's
We're
have
bringing
her.
a new, complete vibe.
So cool.
It's so cool.
Because it takes me, I'm like, sorry to cut, it takes me so much back in like the 2000s, 90s style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, if this is the, like, I'm saying, I'm like, I want to dive into that music. So if I do even future music videos, like, honestly, you should work with musicians because imagine having this in the background. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, wow. I can't stop staring at it.
I know. He's like you could. It's
I
so.
know. It's
It's got character.
It has character.
Yeah.
It makes
it
you.
is a character.
It makes you want to love it, and yeah, like the color concepts. Obviously, like where I come from, and honestly, I'm like watching cartoons and stuff while I'm creating them, so you can see that I'm pouring into that. I love the Ninja Turtles. I love, definitely
That's all I
an
see
80s
when I
baby.
see that, by
You
the
see
way. It's like-
Nickelodeon, you see
Yeah.
Disney, you
Girl,
see
you
like
are certainly
Rugrats and
onto
MTV. Yeah,
Yes.
all of that is like
And
Wow.
the detail, like even
Yeah.
her, like the detail.
This
that's
just.
insane.
it's
Oh my
obsessive.
God.
I'm so glad you
Yeah.
brought it here.
Yeah, so I have a whole series. I've got like 50 cans in my room right now, and I think I've gotten up to about 20 of them prepped, and about 12 of them that are finished like this.
Right.
So yeah, I'm going to I want to have like this full
Right, isn't it?
collection. And then the launch is going to be insane. So you guys will
Oh.
start seeing these pop up everywhere.
I'm
Guys.
literally gonna buy one. Honestly.
Yes,
Like,
we are
support her.
excited, and thank you for sharing that with us. I'm telling you, guys, it has absolutely been a blast. We're going to be closing out, and I just want to say thank you to Riri. Please, can you share your Insta handles and all that good stuff?
So it's Riri Beauty. It's my music and makeup page. So follow me if you guys want makeup services. Hit me up. I make you look like a diva.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of what I can't stop looking at, your blue eyelashes
I
are
know.
captivating.
I
Like I don't know if it's showing up on
excited.
camera, but I've like this whole time I'm looking at you like they're like glowing. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I love it. I love pop of color.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I-
I could go out like this even at 7 a.m. in the morning. I love
I
it.
need the blue.
I'll let you know the details. I got you.
I know.
I got you too. I got you both. You
Thank
too, Addie.
Yeah, of course
I
I,
need
do.
it.
left out.
I wasn't sure if I should ask. No.
Blue
No, no.
beard, maybe.
That would be insane.
Wow.
Actually, would work.
Are we on to something? Maybe next show or like the Smurfs?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay. Well, you're coming on the next show, definitely, all of you. Absolutely. Thank you, Addy. Can you share your handles?
Oh, of course. The band goes by at lunic.dxp. That's lunic.dxp. And if you're a fan of stand-up comedy and you want to see me do my thing, that's at Addy Thomas _, ADITHOMAS _.
Okay, we'll be adding that to the screen. And my darling.
And so you guys can find me on all social media platforms at FDZ Graffiti. That's FDZ.
Zen.
You guys, everybody says Z. I say Z because I'm American. And graffiti is spelled with 2 F's and 1 T.
Oh, thank you so much, guys. And guys, that is it. We have entered season 2. I am Julie. I'm the founder of The Vocal Pod. This is The Vocal Podcast. And the show is called The Gen Shift. And what a show. Guys, be sure to follow us on at the _vocal podcast. And please feel free to go and check out the site for any services that you may require. And as I mentioned before, if you are a Gen Zer who is struggling communicating effectively in social settings, please feel free to contact me and just put on the subject line. I'll put it in the brief below. You deserve to be heard. Okay, and this is us signing out at the Gen Shift. Love ya. Mwah! All right. Are we good? Emmanuel.
Awesome.
how-